Hello and welcome to our channel. My name is Detective Joe, and today we'll delve into the story of one of America's most intelligent yet horrifying serial killers, Edmund Kemper. I must warn you that this episode contains descriptions of violence and psychological trauma, so it may not be suitable for sensitive audiences. Part 1. Early Life and Personality Formation. Edmund Emil Kemper III was born on December 18, 1948, in Burbank, California. His childhood could hardly be called happy. From the very beginning, there were disturbing signs in his life. Edmund was an unusual child. At the age of 10, he already stood about 5 feet 11 inches, 180 centimeters, and as an adult, he reached 6 feet 9 inches, 206 centimeters, and weighed over 280 pounds, 130 kilograms. Due to his height, he earned the nickname Big Ed. His relationship with his mother, Clarnell Kemper, was extremely toxic. She was an alcoholic who constantly belittled her son, forcing him to sleep in a locked basement out of fear he might harm his sisters. Clarnell often told Edmund that no woman would ever want to be with him and that he would never be successful.
Childhood trauma often becomes a catalyst for developing antisocial traits. In Kemper's case, we see a classic example of emotional abuse that formed a deep hatred toward the maternal figure.
Even at an early age, Kemper showed disturbing signs. He cut the heads off his sister's dolls and made them play electric chair. At age 10, he buried the family cat alive, and when it died, he cut off its head and placed it on a stake. Later, he killed another cat and kept its parts in his closet until his mother found them. Part 2. First Murders and Imprisonment. Kemper committed his first serious crime at the age of 15 when he shot his grandparents in their home in Northern California. When police asked why he did it, Kemper replied, "I just wanted to see what it felt like to kill Grandma." Later, he confessed that he actually killed his grandmother because of her constant humiliation, and his grandfather so that he wouldn't discover his wife's murder. After this, Kemper was sent to Atascadero State Hospital for the criminally insane. He spent 6 years there, where he proved to be an exemplary patient. His IQ was 145, placing him in the highly gifted category. He helped staff administer tests to other patients. In 1969, at the age of 21, Kemper was released and, against the recommendations of psychiatrists, placed in his mother's care. This decision proved fatal. Part 3. The co-ed killings. After his release, Kemper settled with his mother in Santa Cruz, California. He tried to become a police officer but was rejected due to his excessive height. Instead, he worked various jobs and frequently visited a bar called the Jury Room, where he socialized with local police officers. They even gave him the nickname Big Eddie and had no suspicion about his dark side. In May 1972, Kemper began his series of murders, which continued until February 1973. During this time, he killed 6 young female hitchhikers. His method was simple. He picked up girls on the road, drove them to remote locations, killed them, and then took their bodies to his house, where he committed post-mortem violence and dismemberment. Particularly chilling is the fact that Kemper often returned to the places where he left his victims' bodies to observe police work. He even discussed these murders with police officers at the bar without raising any suspicions. Part 4. Mother's murder and surrender to police. The culmination of Kemper's killing spree was the murder of his mother on April 21, 1973. After an argument, he waited until she fell asleep and killed her with a hammer, then slit her throat. Afterward, he beheaded the body and desecrated it. In his later confessions, Kemper revealed that he had accumulated hatred toward his mother for years. He claimed that he killed young women as practice before finally dealing with her. That same day, he invited his mother's best friend, Sally Hallett, to the house and also killed her to spare her the shock of discovering Clarnell's body. After these murders, Kemper got in his car and drove east, listening to the radio, hoping to hear news about the discovery of the bodies. When there were no reports, he stopped in Colorado and called the Santa Cruz police. At first, the officers didn't believe his confession, as they knew him as the friendly Big Eddie from the bar. Kemper insisted,
"I killed my mother and her friend. I am also responsible for the murders of the college students in Santa Cruz County. I want to turn myself in."
Only after several calls and detailed confessions did the police finally believe him. Kemper waited in a phone booth until he was arrested. Part 5. Trial and Psychological Profile. Particularly valuable for criminal psychology were the interviews with Kemper conducted by the FBI. Agents Robert Ressler and John Douglas, who later became the founders of the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit, spent dozens of hours talking with him. Kemper proved to be extraordinarily candid and analytical about his crimes. He described in detail his motives, fantasies, and methods, which helped create a psychological profile of a serial killer.
Kemper represents a rare case of a serial killer with high intelligence capable of self-analysis. His testimony became invaluable for understanding the psychology of serial killers. He clearly understood his actions but couldn't control his impulses.
Kemper himself said in one interview,
"I wasn't angry at the girls. I was angry at my mother and transferred this anger to them, knowing I couldn't kill her."
Part 6. Prison Life and Cultural Impact. Edmund Kemper is serving a life sentence at California State Prison in Vacaville. During his imprisonment, he has become a model prisoner. He has recorded hundreds of audiobooks for the blind, for which he received special recognition. Despite the possibility of applying for parole, Kemper has repeatedly declined this right, claiming that society should never risk releasing him. Edmund Kemper's story has influenced popular culture. His image was partially used to create the character of Buffalo Bill in the film The Silence of the Lambs. But his story is most accurately presented in the Netflix series Mindhunter, where actor Cameron Britton played Kemper, recreating his manner of speaking and behavior based on real interviews. Conclusion: the case of Edmund Kemper remains one of the most studied in criminal psychology. His story demonstrates how childhood trauma, psychological abuse, and genetic predisposition can create a deadly combination. But it's also a story about how the justice system and psychiatric care sometimes fail in their tasks. If the psychiatrist's recommendations not to return Kemper to his mother had been heeded, perhaps the tragedy could have been prevented. Today, Kemper, now in his 70s, continues to serve his sentence. His intelligence and capacity for self-analysis have made him a valuable source of information for researchers. But this doesn't diminish the horror of his crimes. The story of the co-ed killer reminds us of the importance of early detection of warning signs in children's behavior. the need for proper psychiatric care, and careful attention to specialists' recommendations. Edmund Kemper's victims, Mary Ann Pesce, Anita Lucchesa, Cindy Schall, Rosalind Thorpe, Alice Liu, Clarnell Kemper, and Sally Hallett, should not be forgotten. Their lives were cut short by a man who himself became a victim of toxic upbringing and mental disorders. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. What other stories would you like to hear? See you next time.